except that small part at the very back of the backbone. And the scholar said that's the seed of every one of the human being. Because whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make his decision for the resurrection, Allah will send the rain, and the rain it will be exactly, we are gonna get out of the ground, out of the earth, out of the graves, the same way exactly like the tree. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given that example in many locations of the Quran. Same way, seed, just like being planted, rain is coming, getting out, exactly the same way. And that is the seed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring every human being from. كَمَا بَدَأَكُمْ تَعُودُونَ. The same way you have started, the same way you will come back from that small seed. And the body will stand without soul. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give the order and instruction to Israfil. Israfil will blow the horn, souls will come back. After death, souls will go somewhere. All are in the horn. Later on, فَإِذَا نُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give the instruction, the horn will be blown off, and every soul is going to go exactly to its body. And the narration said, everyone is going to start sneezing, like, and you're going to look at one another in a different land, a different heaven, and you are going to ask one another, كَمْ لَبِثْتُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ عَدَدَ سِنِينَ. How long we have been on the earth? How long we have been birthed? How long we have been here or there? قَالُوا لَبِثْنَا يَوْمًا أَوْ بَعْضَ يَوْمٍ. That whole deal was just like a day or few days. A day or few days, those whole years of your life and your grave. And whatever is coming after that is longer and longer and longer. 50,000 years with the calculation of Allah. Just for the day of the Hisab. Not for the day to finalize everything. Just the day of the Hisab. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to start. Sun is just few centimeters from your head. The sun is few centimeters from your head. It's right now 83 million light years. And we cannot bear it in June and July. The Prophet said, it's going to be few centimeters from your head. And that is the day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have in His shade. In a day there is no shade but the shade of Allah. The 7 categories that we are going to discuss inshaAllah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the syllabus of the Day of Judgment, the last day or the last residence or Dar al-Akhirah, we are going to cover the beginning of the whole trip, starting from the deathbed. We are going to cover the grave. Either, as the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِمَّا رَوْضَ مِنْ رِيَاضِ الْجَنَّةِ أو حفرة من حفر النيران. Either a garden from the gardens of Jannah, or a hole وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ from the holes of the hellfire. That's your grave. Then after the grave, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring everyone, how the ba'th, how the resurrection, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to start the hisab. We're going to talk about the sirat. We're going to talk about the straight path. We're going to talk about the mizan. We're going to talk about the scale. We're going to talk about the bridges that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has installed on the sirat, on the straight path. We're going to see how believers, how Muslims, not disbelievers, can make a very good job in cutting or passing over 6 regulators, 6 bridges, and they can get stuck before the end, at the last one. Not only that, after passing 6 regulators and getting stuck at the last one, they might not make it to Jannah. As the Prophet ﷺ said, أَتَدْرُونَ مَنِ الْمُفْلِسِ? Do you know who is the bankrupt? They said, Ya Rasulullah, the bankrupt, the guy who has no money, no dirham, no dinar, no nothing. He said, you have misunderstood the word. I'm not talking about the bankrupt in terms of money. I'm talking about the real bankrupt. Abdullah ibn Maktoum was one of the bankrupt of dunya, but he's one of the richest in Jannah. You misunderstood the real meaning of bankrupt. He said the bankrupt was going to come in the Day of Judgment, and he has mountains of hasanat, virtues. Salah, Siyam, Zakat, those are believers. Hajj, everything. But And that's the reason the last regulator of those 7, as we'll discuss inshallah, it's called قنطرة مظالم العباد. The regulators of the affairs of the human being between one another. The first 6 are affairs between you and Allah. And with Allah's mercy, with some of your deeds, with here and there, inshallah, with your good deeds in dunya, you can make it. But to a certain point, Allah will say, I have dealt with whatever is between me and you. Here you have to finish and clear up whatever is between you and others. Now you have mountains from verses. Praying, fasting, hajj, charity, good. But قذف هذا وشتم هذا وأكل مالا. You have insulted X. You have cursed Y. You have backbited Z. You have eaten the money of so and so. You have. And that at the time, I cannot be involved. You have to fix it with one another. And everyone is going to look at one another, and Allah will say, فَيَأْخُذْ everyone, at that time there is no currency. The Prophet is saying, مَنْ كَانَ لِأَخِيهِ عِنْدَهُ مَظْلَمًا. If you have oppressed others, or you have a problem with a brother or a sister right now, in dunya, in the two-way trip, you still have the round trip, you still have the return. فَلْيَتَحَلَّلْهُ مِنْهَا الْآن. Make sure that you will clear it up soon, before a day will come and there is no currency will be valid except al-hasana and the sayyah, except virtue and wickedness. That's the only currency on that day. And Allah will say, that's the only currency, and you have, everyone should take care, should get his right. فَيَأْخُذْ هَذَا مِنْ حَسَنَاتِهِ. And Allah will say, what do you have? How you can clear it up? How you can pay back? And Allah will say, the only thing you can do right now, the only credit you have is those mountains. Give some of those mountains to those who have rights on you. فَيَأْخُذْ هَذَا مِنْ حَسَنَاتِهِ. This one will take, and this one will take, and this one will take. And it can be a word. It can be a backbite. It can be a gossiping. A word that's worse than eating a dead body. أَيُحِبُّ أَحَدُكُمْ أَن يَأْكُلَ لَحْمَ أَخِيهِ مَيْتًا فَكَرِهْتُمُوهُ. Just to backbite, it's like eating the dead body of your brother or a sister. Muslims are underestimating. We are, a'udhu billah, cursing and insulting honest and honored sisters in their ird and dignity without paying an attention, just because of sessions we have nothing to do except